hid by the August foliage and fruit of the grapevine twine, your anatomy round the pruned and polished stem chameleon, fire laid upon an emerald as long as the dark king's massy one, cannot snap the spectrum up for food as you have done. Visible, invisible, a fluctuating charm, an amber tinctured amethyst inhabits it. Your arm approaches and it opens and closes. You had meant to catch it and it quivers. You abandon your intent.
In moving slow, he has no peer. Moving slow, he has no peer. You ask him something in his ear, he thinks about it for a year. And then before he says a word, there upside down, unlike a bird, he will assume that you have heard. A most exspirating lug, but should you call his manner smug, he'll sigh and give his branch a hug, then swing off again to sleep he goes, still swaying gently by his toes, and you know he knows he knows.
The mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the former called the latter little prig. Bun replied, You are doubtless very big, but all sorts of things and weather must be taken in together to make up a year and a sphere, and I think it no disgrace to occupy my place. If I'm not so large as you, you are not so small as I, and not half so spry. I'll not deny you make a very pretty squirrel track. Talents differ, all is well and wisely put. If I cannot carry forest on my back, neither can you crack a nut.
The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. You are, what a beautiful pussy you are. You did it, good job, yeah. Pussy said to the owl, You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing, oh let us be married. Too long we have tarried, but shall we do for a ring? They sailed away for a year and a day, into the land where the balm tree grows. And there in a wood a piggy wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose.
Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? Said the piggy. I will. So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon and hand in hand on the ledge of the sand. They danced by the light of the moon. The moon, they danced with the light of the moon.
A frog went walking one fine day. A frog went walking one fine day. He met Miss Mousie on the way. He said, Miss Mousie, will you marry me? He said, Miss Mousie, will you marry me? We'll live together in a hollow tree. The first of the wedding was Farmer Brown. And the first to the wedding was Farmer Brown. He brought his wife in a wedding gown. The second to the wedding was Dr. Dick. The second to the wedding was Dr. Dick. He ate so much that he nearly got sick.
To the third of the wedding was Grandma Green. The third of the wedding was Grandma Green. Her straw was blue, but it wasn't clean. What do you think they had for supper? What do you think they had for supper? Some fried mosquitoes without any butter. What do you think they had for a fiddle? What do you think they had for a fiddle? An old tin can with a hole in the middle. And what do you think they had on the shelf? And what do you think they had on the shelf? If you want to find out, go look for yourself.
Yon black man of war, hawk that wheels in the light, over the black ship's white skies, stunned cloud to the sight, have we low flyers wings to ascend to his height. No arrow can reach him, nor thought can attain to the placid supreme and the sweep of his reign.
In the yard, the autumn moon shines white. The roof edge drops fantastic shadows. A silence dwells in the empty windows from which the rats now quietly plunge and flit about, squeaking here and there. A grayish, misty exhalation from the outhouse sniffs after them, spectral moonlight trembling through it, and the rats sprawl avidly as if hit mad, filling up the house and barn loft, already full of grain and fruit. Icy winds whimper in the yard.
Every time the bucks went clattering over Oklahoma, a fire cat bristled in the way. Wherever they went clattering until they swerved in a swift circular line to the right because of the fire cat, or until they swerved in a swift circular line to the left because of the fire cat.
The bucks clattered, the fire cat went leaping to the right, to the left, and bristled in the way. Later, the fire cat closed his bright eyes and slept.